Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So, I kind of been coming up short with new team ideas, but I do want to try another defense drop team. Nothing real creative or special, but it is a team where I can use Umbra Piraniant on, and I believe, yes, it does. I don't know why it's not letting me toggle like Luma Piraniant now, but hey, I got Umbra, so that's better. um, Yes, so I was just trying to think of what team I could use Umbra Piraniant on, or just Piraniant on in general. I've been running a few stall teams with it, and that's fine and good and all, but I actually think a defense drop team might have some amount of potential this patch, because essentially most of the Tems in the meta are actually special defense walls. You look at Volerand, you look at well, I picked Piraniant, the game doesn't like me. Volfi has really solid special defense. Adoro's another one. Platimus actually has really nice special defense. Just a whole bunch of stuff. But you pick on their defense, and all of a sudden they cripple a little bit. They kind of, most people will spread to balance out quite a bit, so it's really not that great. But it's going to be a 3 KO anyways. I can kind of punish not having resists, and I can get through type weaknesses just by dropping defense and stuff, so we're just going to give it a try. And for anyone wondering why I'm running Piraniant on this team, it's because it gets Humiliating Slap, which with synergy drops defense by 2 stages. Pretty nice. It's just it needs to be run with a physical crystal essentially. So first thing I'm gonna put on the team's Tuvine. Tuvine's a nice physical crystal. It's gonna look very similar to a team I've run before. I like Mashuk. I love Parrier Mashuk, but Tireless is just so much value right now you can't really justify running the other trait. Mulgu. I think Mulgu's really nice. Being able to avoid toxic ticks from stuff is really important. Why is Mulgu in the for fun section? Oh, just with Splitter. It kind of sucks it doesn't avoid them from Nidrasil, because this little tooltip isn't the most accurate. It doesn't remove all status conditions. It's just ones received from attacks. So stuff from traits will still activate. Why is my Mashuk not Luma now? Must be missing an ETC. Okay. Now from here, I'm drawing a blank. I could add a couple, we'll throw Zyzar on there. Once the new patch, like in 1.5, Piercing Wheel got boosted up to a very high prio, and I never tested it out. Just be a good chance to. There's not a whole lot of synergies. I'll go Volgon. Superconduct Volgon as a physical support's really nice. Can drop defense with Stare, beef up for increased attack. It's also a special attacker on a primarily physical team, which can be valuable for breaking through physical walls. If I ever ran into a Strange Vest Vola or something, Volgon would be great. I do have 4 monotypes on this team though, which can be a problem. Be nice to have something else to deal with water, so I don't get destroyed by something like Oshiara. Potentially Chimerian. I've only got the 1 fire weakness so far, so I'll probably just go with Chimerian. Because it's another H-slap receiver, which is very nice, and it covers that water weakness. I do have a little bit of a melee weakness, maybe something like, I was gonna say Sandby, but that ends up being a 5th monotype, which feels bad. Because there's not a whole lot of stuff. Like, melee is only weak to Digi and Mental, and I can't really fit either of those on the team. It would also add a 3rd Digi weakness if I did. It's kind of sketch. Don't like Like even like you can have 3 of a weakness on a team, but you don't want too many of them because then it just gets too hard to cover. I could go Zalbian. I do have, but that's still another Digi. Hello, Belly. Welcome. It's basically a defense trap team, so I'll have stuff like Synergy H Slap, Perfect Jab, Piercing Wheel, Stare, lower defense, and then just hit them hard with stuff like a Synergy Faraday, more H Slaps, CPG, Hostile CPG. Robin, hello, welcome. I'm struggling to fit something in this last slot. Maybe just like a Tataru, but it's just another money. You know, we're just gonna go with the Sambi for now. We can swap it out. Just make it band bait. It's not a whole lot of band bait I could have. I could have like a physical Mimit. That would allow me to have double 2-Vine. Double Piraniant can be threatening. But I think we'll just go with this. Sambi's somewhere. Probably in the for fun section because the game doesn't know what. Nope, there it is. The game doesn't know what I do when I first pick Piraniant for a team. Trying to think. There's not a whole lot of status techniques being used right now outside of sleep. It would help against stall to avoid like psychosis and roar and such. We'll go with dozing hit. Just because if I face something with maybe I'll face a Mashuk and I just want to put it to sleep. Or Shaolant even. Yeah, Shaolant. Okay. Just put items on before I make spreads. First aid kit's always nice on Piranha. It gives that little extra health boost when it gets into the energy reserve range. I always like bait on my 2-Vine. For Molgu, I run Adrenaline Shot because Splitter gives Invigorized, and I don't want Fake Beard to cancel it out, but Molgu really does like any form of pack item. It also allows me to use Rush if I need to, which is nice. Mr. Bossy, hello, welcome. Freshing Diabolo is good on Volgon because it gets ignored quite a bit. It's just a support. We'll go Fake Beard on the Chimerian because it also has stamina issues. Sweatband on the Sandbee. These last two, it's kind of rough. Like, it's probably just Iron Coating. Just because almost every single move that Zyzer is going to click is Earth. So it pretty much always gets value. I'm not even sure if I'm going to run Clinch. But we'll see. Marco, hello, welcome. Maybe run double screen on the Mashuk. Trying to remember what most people run. Marbles? I suppose most people are running marbles right now. Just because it's such a strong... Oh, no, we got War Drum. There we go. Haha, some needed War Drum on the team. Alright. So... There's going to be a lot of specific speed tiering on this team. So that the defense dropping goes in the order I want it to be. So the fastest thing on the team is Chimerian, so everything needs to be faster than Chimerian. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of point in clicking Sharp Leaf ever over Sharpening. Let's go up to 61 stamina, should be alright with Fake Beard. I think we'll just make Chimerian super bulky. Probably end up running into some Tolkiens. It's tempting to run like Pan Sunscreen just so I can survive a Fiery Soul and not get burned and hit the ally, but I think Fake Bear is just going to give us more value in like every other way. This kind of loses me speed ties with other Chimerians, but it reaches the 200 breakpoint that I want it to, and it'll save TVs on everything else, which is important. Now, I want Piraniant to be 1 point faster than that, so 204. And then I want Mashuk to be 1 point faster than that, 205. And Volgon at 1 point faster than that even. So essentially, Mashuk, where do I start? Chimerian deals damage. It doesn't support in any way. Piraniant, Mashuk, and Volgon all drop defenses. And so you want to get that on the same turn when possible. So you essentially put the second highest damaging Tem as the next slowest, which is going to be Piraniant, because I'm going to have a high attack invest, and after energy reserves procs, this thing does insane amounts of damage. So I want it to be a bit slower. Alright, and Mashuk doesn't deal as much damage, because its hardest hitting move is Wastewater, which is only 90 base power, which is still solid, but it's not going to be anything crazy. So it can be a bit faster and not get like the H-slap on tempo from Piraniant. Not that it wouldn't even have synergy anyways. And then Volgon doesn't get any boost from the rest of the team's defense dropping, so it can be the fastest thing, but it can still supply the defense drops and attack buffs, which is important. So you have a lot of good options in the last slot here. I think we'll just go Strangle for now. Maybe Cage. Yeah, we'll go Cage. So that was my thought process there. Now to calc Xyzer when using Piercing Wheel. Optimally, it would reach like 205. Which isn't gonna be real possible. Just because of how the speed breakpoints work out. Just with ultra high pryos 1.75 times speed. So you just need a little bit of speed. If I go 117, it'll end up at 204, which will speed tie Piraniant. If I go 1 point more, it'll go 206, which will outspeed Volgon. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put 1 more point in Volgon. So in case I want to do something like a beef up into the Piercing Wheel, I can do that. And then that should be decent. It's a bit unfortunate that Mashuk's going to underspeed that. I could put like 3 more points in everything, just to round, but we'll just give it a few tries as is. Hello, Onyx, welcome. How doable are Lair solo? Don't have a lot of time to play. Not the best player. Would rather learn at your own pace without bringing down a party. So Lairs will still test your knowledge of the game. They're very possible solo. You'd probably have a better chance doing either the Volgon or the Tyrannac Lairs solo. I heard the Gallios Lair is a bit harder solo. Note that you will get a really bad egg and worse chance at rewards by doing them solo, but if you're just trying to farm like a Luma Mythical or something, it's definitely possible. I'd always recommend you just want to unlock Umbras. Okay, so just doing the Gallios Lair. It might take you a couple times, but you can definitely do it solo for sure. I'm sure that there's a couple videos just on like intro to Lairs. I would maybe watch those ahead of time. They do help, even if they're a bit outdated. The like Lair process hasn't changed at all since its release, as far as I'm aware. They just added a couple trade nodes which you won't run into on a solo Lair. Unfortunately, I haven't made a guide for any of those since I mainly focus on PvP. Yeah, no problem. Gotta think about the rest of this team now. Faraday Cage got a nice stamina buff, so you can save stamina on your Mulgu now. I'm just gonna go to 61. Keeps a 3-turn rotation and allows adrenaline shot if I need it. No Chocobo Chicken. I don't have Luma Chimuri. It's a low percent, and we're going for. I'm starting with Pup Voice for the next Luma I'm going for. I really like Lowaddle. Getting a Luma of it would be cool. Team building is kind of a mess right now. I'm get it all sorted out. Question is, I don't know if I want H-Slap or not. If I did, I'd probably want it faster than Chimerian, which I really don't want. I think I'm just going to go Nox Bomb. We'll see if I regret that later. I believe it's 57 stamina for Feathergat, Turbine Feathergat. If bait doesn't proc, I could save on HP and defense, or just not put any in special defense, but I think we're just going to go with this. Piraniant takes so much stamina. I'd love to calc it for triple Cold Geyser, but that's just too expensive. So I can save some TVs and just do Cold Geyser, H-Slap. Which is still a reasonable rotation, allows me to use Ice Cubes or Nox Bomb instead. Just max HP. Could probably split this again. I would probably look at the spreads if I was planning on using this in the tournament. We'll see how the team goes today. I think the concept of it's pretty good, but we'll have to see how it performs. Mashuk definitely wants as much bulk as it can get. Going tireless, so I want to OX after like a wastewater and a synergy turbo or something. Should be like 44 stamina, so I'll scuff it down to that. I guess it would be 43 stamina. Yeah, whatever. So then you can save all the points in stamina because Mashuk kind of just goes forever with Tireless. I don't know how much attack to put in it, but you don't need an insane amount. You just go 250 because it scales with Tireless and then just put the rest in its weaker defense. Let's just make the defenses even just because it'll look nicer. 187 in each. Perfect. So Molgu, I normally like to put a few points in. I think before I used to do like 163 because this outspeeds base speed Turok, but more importantly base speed Adoro. You don't run into it too often, but when it is there, you want to outspeed it. Last thing you want to do is die to a Tem that's slow and 0 speed invest when you could have just invested just a tiny bit and still outspeed it. Let's see. Yeah, Zyzar doesn't really have a good fourth move. I've seen some people run Untangle, it's so bad. Quicksand's been growing in popularity. I do have 2 wind types. I could consider that. I have a 2 Vine and I have Volgon, which basically is a wind type with superconduct. But Clinch also allows me to hit stuff that's resists Earth. And is a cheap option, so I'm probably just gonna go with that. But there are definitely other options with Zyzar. New Petrify is kind of cool too. It's just expecting Zyzar to live like 3 turns is a bit rough. It's also got really high base stamina, and the Piercing Whale gives Invigorize for 2 turns. So you can calc for 32, 36, 16. it is still kind of expensive stamina-wise, just because Stone Ball and Piercing Wheel cost too much, but it is not bad. As there already reaches like 300 attack just with this build, so once again you could change it around some. It's pretty lopsided defenses, way more defense than special defense, so might be worth switching some around. Volgon's stamina is even worse. I always like to calc for your triple Thunder Strike when you're not running Adrenaline Shot on it. Adrenaline Shot's pretty common on most builds, but it's on Molgu for this team, so do not have that. Just max the thing's HP and throw the rest in special attack. We do want it to be somewhat of an offensive threat, so it can't be completely ignored. But I'm not expecting it to do crazy damage or anything. Murian we already did, very simple build there. Sweatband nerf actually kind of hurts Sambi a little bit. It costs way more to invest to have a 3-turn rotation, and this isn't triple matter teleport, it's 2 matters and then a transient. But that's okay because we shouldn't be clicking matter teleport too often. Sambi's speed, I'm thinking of just tying it with Mashuk. I want it to outspeed Piraniant and the 2 damage carries. But I don't think it needs to be anything crazy. It also, the faster that Sambi is, the faster we can sleep stuff with Hypnosis and get Prio with Transient, which is nice. It's going to be like a 2+ hit KO with our attacks regardless, so that's why I'm maxing HP instead of attack. Because it shouldn't really matter that we don't have max attack on anything. I'm sure at some point something will live on like red HP and I'll be like, ah, why didn't I invest more? But that's okay. We'll get there when we get there. Do you need Hypno with Dozing Hit? I definitely do. I don't think Dozing Hit's going to be that great or come into handy very often. It's basically just to like prevent move flanks from getting a Held Anger off or Mashuks from getting a Turbo off. So the only 2 meta Tems of that type. Yeah, being able to Hypno other stuff is very nice. Because if, let's say they got a crystal in the back, and they swap their neutral for that crystal, you can Hypno that slot. Worst case scenario, you'll put the neutral to sleep, who cares? Gotta remember to turn on. There we go. Don't want to accidentally run away, cancel the radar. This time you used it, it wasn't? Really? Dosing was ever on non-super effective? That's crazy, I don't remember that. I know there was a discussion in comp chat about what if Follow Me was in Temtem, and I'm like, yeah, I remember original bait. That was before Gears revealed it all, and so it would just eat a. Oh, okay. It would just eat a hit no matter what. Okay. Mogo gets banned here because he doesn't know if it's Sentinel or not. It's definitely like a sleep core. I'm pretty tempted to ban the Tolkien. Because I don't have a lot of great answers to it. Mogo gets banned every time anyways. Now I picked Tuvine, just because I have bait. And I'm also realizing I didn't look at all of my abilities. I think I sorta did, but I'm also not confident. I can't justify not picking Zyzer here. Wiki says effective and super effective. So it's interesting because in Temtem, effective is 2x and super effective is 4x. So it's just a wording difference. Workman, hello, welcome. Yes, finally got the Umbra Pookie. I'm glad. Back to hunting Pupois. Yeah, getting rid of the Pocus. I'll bring Sanby so that I can resist sleep on something. But Sanby does not like the crystals, and there's 2 of them. I don't think Volgon's going to be doing anything for me here. Just pick the other 2. I really wish I had my Sparks core for this. I would just destroy it. Like, haha, half your team's weak to Digi. So you've been a PvE player? Well, it confused me as well. It's just... it seems weird to have such different wording for Pokemon, but it's a different game, so it's definitely fair to have that. Piraniant comes in here, eats the 2 Vine hits, because I want to save bait for when Gallios, Tortonite, and that comes in. He's got nothing to resist Zyzer, and let's see if I picked the right ability. I did, so this Stone Ball's gonna hurt. Yeah, he has to swap, but he's still gonna take like half his health from whatever he takes. Or swaps in. That is not quite half. That is so unfortunate. Remember when I said I'd regret not maxing attack? Well, here we go. Oh, interesting. It's the adrenaline shot double strangle thingamajig. Jinx Whisper on the Zyzer. He hasn't transiented. But he does have Deluge up on the Tort now that he's just going to click on Piraniant. I forget which trait the Gallios has, but since it's at basically half HP, it would deal the same amount based from either trait right now. I think it was Supernova. Well, I don't know which one Supernova is. That's kind of the issue. I didn't see Gallios for most of the entire patch 1.5. Yeah. It's like a 0 offense invest Tortonite. Supernova's missing HP? Gotcha, gotcha. I don't know if he's going to use the ability on himself or the Tort. Because what I can do is I could Cold Geyser and then just hit myself. Please be on the Adoro. Nice. That's a dead Gallios. The only physical time he has on his team is Evenk, so the defense drop doesn't really matter. Wow. Dang. I was really hoping I'd actually knock myself into energy reserves and that would just kill, but that sucks. That's what I get for not investing like any offense in the Piraniant. And the problem is like I can't actually do the whole point of the strategy, which is lowering the defense of my opponent, because he's putting me to sleep every turn. So that is rough. And now even worse, he's got the trait that does stuff if he's faster, so, or if he has more HP. So I have to lower his HP now. Yeah, live and learn. I should have swapped in the war drum. I didn't even think about that. I guess I should have just used Cold Geyser. Ah! Yeah. I don't want to have to take the Inner Spirit, but it's just going to happen. If I can get a turbo off, that'll help. Reactive Vial. Denigrate. I don't like that damage, but I'm okay. We use turbo. He's just gonna double him with Shook now. This Tuvine shouldn't have to worry about getting outsped anymore. That does not do enough damage. Yeah. Now I have to play a guessing game again. Which slot is he gonna use his signature on? He uses it on himself. I think I kind of just have to double the Gallios, and if I'm wrong, I just lose. Yeah, the Piraniant not killing the Gallios just ruined the game. Yeah, dang it. GG. He does have Inner Spirit too. Yeah, unfortunate. I'm just gonna forfeit. There's no point in playing out the rest of the turns. I can't kill any of his Tems. So I'm not sure why that did supernova damage when it was supposed to be Protostar. Guess I could have ignored it. Oh well. Guess I did hear about a bug like that. It's like I figured I can beat most stall teams because I can just drop their defense, and then it doesn't matter how much offensive invest I have. But against a sleep stall team, you just need a whole bunch of upfront fast damage. Which I did not have. I also don't have an energy drink on the team. Figured I could do without it with a mental, a bait, and Mulgu. It's also interesting to not see Waspine on that sort of team. GG, yeah, for sure. I got pretty low attack invest on the Piraniant. Figured I could whittle down bulky Tems with H-slap, but you had just bulk and speed, both which just kind of ruined me. Gallios did. Yeah, I don't know how you would have come back if Gallios would have died. Because I just had Tuvine and Xyzer to run through your team, and Xyzer would have still been full health. Has the team been feeling consistent? I feel like that sort of team just kind of runs into issues with bait, camo, E-drink. It's not something I'd want to run. Those look interesting though. You're doing well? That's good. Yeah, I know some other people are running similar teams. Focus really makes it a pain because it's so fast, and slowdown synergy just punishes. This. I don't have enough spread moves. I've got Rockfall and I've got Heli Kick. Gotta watch out for the mix. Yeah, the A-Shot Strangle gives me flashbacks in the blue screen teams. There's literally no counterplay to that, but... Senpai, hello, welcome. Which hope you have sometimes digis. Yeah, as soon as I matched into you, I'm like, man, I wish I brought my Sparks team. Because I eat those sleep teams for breakfast. I had 2 digis, just a whole bunch of fast damage and speed control. I don't want to have to play around mix. I was thinking about it, but I don't want to. The thing is 1 refresh up, and I'm sure it's calc to live like a CPG. I could hit it with the Stone Ball from Xyzer, but that's about it. As far as killing it on turn 1. Could lower its defense and then hit it, I suppose. Been missing the stream? Yeah, I've been running out of creative juices for Temtem, honestly. Got some real life stuff going on too, so I'm definitely going to be streaming less often. Unless things open up unexpectedly. Just have to see. Tuvine Piraniant. Nice solid lead. Yeah, you won a lot of matches against fast aggro, but it's for sure a harder matchup, especially with Digis. You have two mentals and you can't use your neutrals well. Yeah, you also can't put the mentals to sleep. All you gotta do is ban your crystals and play around that. Okay. Wolfie's kind of a pain. Just because it's Wolfie. But if they leave me shook up, I'm fine. Yeah, they were ready with that Mashuk ban. Definitely have to bring Chimerian. Gonna bring Sambi too. Curious what this Gallios is going. Because it's not a full sleep team, so I wonder if it's going to be some sort of Bruiser Gallios. Where really it's just like high attack invest or something. Either will be nice. No, and she's are def. I know he was just on all the blue screen for as long as that was awful, but I feel like a Sambi swap for Piraniant is way too easy. And there's just not enough sleep to go around, I feel like. Stand corrected. He's just gonna click the button. Doesn't have adrenaline shot though, so that's just a whatever turn. Congratulations, you did 10% to my Sambi. There's no reason not to attack there. So he doesn't have Selfless up yet. I think my Sambi is... yeah. Problem is there's not a whole lot of point in doing that. They could have swapped in the Zyzar last turn, that would have been better. Basically, I don't want to attack Gallios until I know its Selfless is done. Because if it's just going to be Supernova, it's not going to deal any damage. But I know that a single Cold Geyser won't kill this thing. Not a lot of good turn ones. Yeah, yeah. When I was looking at Gallios, just the first time I noticed that there weren't a whole lot of good options. Like Clayball or Emanip. That's about it. They're gonna revise the moveset for Gyos. They're gonna look at it in the future, and by revise, they're probably just gonna take away a shot or a Jinx Whisper and give it Hypnosis, and then give it some decent turn ones instead. It'll either be the mid-season or 1.6. I'm not really sure. I don't know how well Zyzar can take his ratios. So we're gonna find out. That's a pretty low special attack Oshiara, but it's getting... it's scaling. And that doesn't even do half. You hold off Chimerian. Gonna kind of suck to lose Sambi before I kill Venmet, but it's lowering its defense for me, so I should be alright. It looks like a bulkier team, so I'm gonna assume it's low speed invest. It'll hurt if I'm wrong, for sure, but I think I can manage. I thought that thing was gonna survive on like 1 health. Like a bad day. Bad day for me. I think he's going to keep his Oshiara in to Waterblade my Sambi, finish it off before I one-shot his Venmet. And then I should be able to take the +2 uppercut on Chimerian. Who runs Hook Kick? Who runs Hook Kick? It's uppercut, Savage, Ninja, and a turn 1 neutral move. He doesn't have one of those, which is really bad in so many cases. Why? Who does that? God. I just have to double in the Venmet now. That's so unfortunate. His Oshiara can get another Serbatios off now if it wants to. I probably should have just doubled it anyways. He does swap, okay. Yeah, he definitely skips on the turn 1 neutral because he's got uppercut and he just calls that good. I disagree. I don't think that's good. I think that's a bad option, but it's the one he's chosen to make. Like, I've seen people go without ninja as well. Probably toast just because nope, he's got ninja. That flipping hurts. Rip energy reserves. Didn't even kill. Ah. Yeah, game's over. Oshara just comes in, clicks survey shows, and I die. Not a good showing for the team so far. Face 2 sleep control goofy teams right off the bat. We're gonna be seeing that much sleep, we'll just run energy drink. Ta-da, start winning games. Maybe I just throw energy drink on Zyzer, just because who cares about iron coating? I don't need it that bad. It's not like I'm actually getting any KOs by having iron coating. Like, I'm sure at some point I would. I can definitely do without it. I'd rather have a better matchup into these stupid teams. Because this is twice now I've had my Zyzer just get slept and ruins the game. It also prevents one of the only ways my opponent can stop rested as well. So I should get a lot more rested value. Because rested really hurts. Like 30% is huge. I get some pretty quick Qs, which is nice. Someone dumb. Kinda looking at that Nidrasil. Yeah. Nidrasil's a pain. Too much true damage. Piraniant takes plagues way better than you ever think it would. Most of the time they don't even give me any energy reserves. Imagine Volfi eating a big bowl of pasta Alfredo. You know, can't do it. Hazrat, huh? That's kind of interesting. It's a Hazrat with only one water type on the team. Golzy looks like the biggest problem. And Golzy is kind of like very deceptive, because you have a lot of stuff that's super effective against Golzy, but Golzy also has stuff super effective against you. Like, I can hit Golzy with Molgu, Zyzare, Chimerian, and Sambi, but it also hits all of them. Yeah, Zyzare gets banned, so Scaravolt's freed up. That makes sense. Two fire types makes me not want to pick Chim. Also, I don't know how much Volgon's gonna do this game. We'll try. That's super conduct, so maybe I can get it next to Molgu and get some Faraday cages off. It'll help break down Scaravolt. Alright. Let's hope it's not a max special attack Volphy. Ooh, Volphy swap. Yeah. Kaleidoscope. Yeah. Interesting. I respect it. Come on, man. I like how it still reveals Kaleidoscope, even though it's been used up. Oh, I guess it doesn't. Yeah, just because stupid thing doesn't have any other moves it can use. Alright. I don't think Gario gets any other moves it can Kaleidoscope with. Doesn't get Burrow or anything. Yeah, that hurt. I don't really need Two-Vine. I should have had Two-Vine take the Toxic Farewell though, because it was always going to die this turn. Umbra v Umbra. If it was just a 1v1, Piraniant wins. Could have Earthbreak or something though. Guess we'll see. Yeah, it was Kaleido heat up. He lived on 2%, so super unfortunate. Yeah, I have pretty low attack invest on most of my Tems. Figured I could just break through most teams, but it's been a bit rough. Ah, no more on tempo. That sucks. That was a good clay ball. I guess he's got to run clay ball because he's got Kaleido, so no Soil Steam. Really wish I could swap Piraniant out now and get a anything else. The plague prevented me from getting the Invigorize from energy reserves too. Yikes. I can take that. That's actually pretty good damage. Okay. So bring in Molgu. Just to take a hit or two. He's gonna Clayball the Volgon. I'm hoping that Tuvine is in Cyberclaw range. But honestly, don't know. At the very least, it's in range to die to Ice Cubes from Piraniant. Now I'll start beating on the Gario a little bit. Wood is half full. Wonder what water move he's got. Cold Guys will OX him, and then I just put the Scaravolt to sleep. He went for the Rockfall. That's interesting. Splitter, Invigorize, nice! Wait, did he not OX from that? Yo, this thing's got like 101 stamina. Like it's a marathon as Gario or something, but it's not. Oh, that's rough. Okay. He rests, okay. Faraday Cage and I'll self beef up. Sambi might have to do a little bit of work in the end game here. Alright. We'll go with the Cyberclaw now. Should kill. What's the matter, teleport? You know, I'm not gonna risk it. We're gonna go Cyberclaw kill. Really wish I had not matter teleport right now. I wanted a bit more chip on this Garavel just in case, but I don't think that's going to be an option. Yeah, Cyberclaw definitely would have killed Noel. I have ad shots, so I'll still be able to get some sort of chip on Scaravel. Just gotta think about how I can not throw my lead. Really, this game wasn't all that bad. It was just a couple misplays and a lot of low health. GG. Volgon was decent that match. Chipped the 2-Vine down a lot. Got the stare off, which with energy reserves one-shot the Volphy. Diabolo didn't proc, which is a bit sad. If Piraniant had a little bit of extra health, I probably could have worked with it. Still a bit confused what else that Gario has on his moveset. It only showed Rockfall and Clayball, I think. Never used a water move, even when Molgu was on the field. Maybe he just really didn't want to OX that bad. He probably didn't have Water Jet or Laundry in his 4th slot, so it was probably Earthbreaker, but he didn't try and Synergy Earthbreaker or anything either. With their Electrics, there was the Scaravolts. So I thought he could, like, the Gario was on a board against Molgu and Sandby, but he didn't swap in Scaravolt for Synergy Earthbreaker. Definitely would have expected it. He had the holds off, for sure. Volphy with the strong Fizz water attack feels so good, especially when you can Gario's cupped for 1 plague. Yeah. If he had Laundry or Water Jet, he could have clicked one without OX. Well, Laundry's 25 stamina, right? It must have been Laundry. I forgot that they changed it and made it more stamina. Because Rockfall's 24, and it was perfectly calced. Oh, well. Guy's got the Arachnite backpack and an Arachnite following him. Should dye the backpack Luma and get a Luma Arachnite. Gario's wonderful. I've used Gario on a lot of teams for a long time. I like the Tem, but with Volphy on every single team and Platamus and Oshiara, it's not hitting this season. Not for me. Skibbities. It's like a fast, aggressive team. Hasn't hit the last 2 seasons. I mean, beginning at 1.4, I used it successfully on my team in MSI, so. But then the meta developed, and Down the toilet. Unfortunate though. Nerf Wolfie. I would love that. Just, I always say it. Take away Sludge Gift, give it Clay Ball. If it really wants turn 1 Earth damage, it can have Clay Ball to do a little bit of chip and have a little bit of speed control, like the support it should be. I'm banning Monko so that my options for pressuring and Inky are available. I don't know. I don't know. I wanted to pick Zyzer there, but he could just pick double melee and just double uppercut, and I don't know if Jim lives that. It's probably close, but I don't think it does. Yeah, see here. Here's the problem. Should never have gotten Sludge Gift. Yeah, yeah, that definitely would have helped if it never got it. But Wolfie was a dead Tem for a while. I don't think it needs zero compensation for losing it at this point. I think that might be too punishing. It's not like I want to completely kill the Tem. It'd be great if we could find a way for all Tems to be like viable in some way. It's easier said than done. It was a pretty good spot for a bit, then got Sludge Gift and jumped back up in usage. I do remember it being popular in one meta, I just don't remember what meta that was or why. But, yeah. I could have picked Volgon here. I really didn't want to pick Volgon into Size Munch. My plan turn 1 is to probably swap into Mashuk from the trim slot and then click Faraday Cage and kill one of these two. I just don't know which one that's going to be. I feel like I have more options to deal with Golzy. Plus, if I can cancel out the synergy for Size Munch, that would be great. So Isolate is a status in this game. Wolfie is good at all. It's unhealthy for the game, just has too much going for it. It's hard to find a middle ground for the thing. Yeah, its defensive typing is just way too strong. That's very bulky. Size Munch. Reactive Vial? No, it's not. I can just rush the thing and it'll die to the Toxic Tick. But something's gonna have to eat a hit from Momo, which I don't like. See you. swaps the Momo. Keep the size much in. There's no synergy. He probably didn't even know he was isolated. But it's not, because otherwise I could have just used Heli Kick there and killed him. Because my Mashuk was faster. It's like a 0 speed size munch. So that's really unfortunate. Ooh, I might need to lower my stamina by 1. If I clicked Heli Kick here, I wouldn't get the OX bonus. Marbles Volerand. See you, Welsh. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. If we're bringing Shim here, he just swaps in Hedgen. If I bring in Zyzer and doesn't swap in Hedgen, then I'm in a rough spot. So I have to choose Zyzer and then swap to Mashuk. His team is just very fast. He did swap to Hedgen. No, to Momo? Interesting. I wonder if he predicted that. He probably attacked that slot regardless. It's just... Did he use Nox Bomb or Feathergut? That was good damage. It was really nice damage, actually. He did use Feathergut. Ah! Where's my barrier? No! I believe Momo's faster than my Chim, too. At base, even, so... That sucks. Stupid marbles keeps getting to me, too. I think I just lose. Guessing wrong there was a bit too harsh. He even stayed in. He was gonna Feathergut to Ziz either way. I thought he was gonna swap one of his slots for Hedgen. Volerand wasn't doing much on the field. Figured it would have been a good swap for him. Oh, no Toxic Plume, you got Venomous Claws instead. That sucks. Now he gets the Undermine off on 2-Vine, and I can't threaten the Golzy with CPG. The stupid. I hate marbles still so much. Literally the worst item in the game. Just delete it. At least don't make it work on swap-ins. Hard to play Temtem right now because a lot of meta Tems have different move pools. Nah. For me, the problem is that everyone's spreading differently. Because you have some people who have 700 plus TVs in bulk that just you can't win against with an offensive team because they'll just little you to death with toxic ticks and garbage. And then you have other people like this who have very, very high speed. I wasn't watching my health. I don't know if I die to another V-Claw or not. Probably do. Two health. That's a win. That's wow. I don't know if I deserve that one, but got it. See, if he microwaves the Zyzer when he brought in the Hedgen, or just brought in the Goldsy first to Oshi, he would have always won. Put your cash or Hedgen in front of Yowler and it has ice cubes. I don't think there's enough options in move pools. I feel like almost every single Tem runs the same move. They have 4 moves. I get confused more in stuff like in that last match. It was a base speed size munch stayed in with isolate against my Mashuk. Which reminds me, I gotta change my stam, drop it by 1. Shook really hasn't been feeling good, but it also gets banned most of the time, so. 7, I like 7. Running into a lot of weird moves lately. I don't know, I guess I'm not like weird moves don't bother me nearly as much because once you learn that move, you can not worry about it again. At least in like a best of 3. But you can't prepare very well for both the max speed and the 700 plus bulk teams. Because like this one was, I designed it to have a lot of options, but then you see stuff like a drill on Garunder, and it kind of it wins some and it loses others. This one so far I'm 2-2, but I really should be 1-3. I don't think I should have won that last match. It feels like running like 500 in a stat on a bulkier team just isn't good enough anymore. You have to run either more or less. I don't know what a good middle ground would be anymore. It's just all kind of weird. It's like you look at J-Dragon in the American Championship. He used a whole bunch of cool Tems. But like Owlhe with 700 defensive TVs, and just same with a whole bunch of other toxics, and Plat was basically the same way too. And yet it's consistent. Like I could probably just do the same thing and bulk with toxic. But I feel like a lot of people, the top players that have success with their teams, even you include the stall players in that, it's a different play style, something that I'm not used to. I feel like everyone, for the most part, is trying to brute force, find a way to get their strategy to work, the one that they're comfortable with. Like, I guess, like, because I default back to my little evasion strat. It's not like that's a crazy strategy or anything, it's just what I'm comfortable with. Most people don't even experiment all that much because some way or another you can make your strategy work. It's just, you're gonna have some winning matchups and some losing ones. I like having tools where you don't have matchups where you like, I just can't win this ever. Having options I think is great, but they're just not always gonna be there. Default back to Tutsu core. Honestly, I feel I do like the Tutsu core still, and I think it's strong. Problem is, it almost feels like I solved the game. Like I look at like, what do you need to beat all the toxics? Wins. Tutsu core. What do you need to beat Volfi? Tutsu core. What do you need to beat Platimus? Wins. Tutsu core. Some variation of it or the other. So I could just completely go back and master that team even further, figuring out what the best slot ins are for the current meta, and just play it more. But it's almost boring. It's kind of crazy to think. Not winning, not playing a winning team because it's boring. It's not like it has a 100% win rate. Sucks against Digis. Monko's a must ban. I've run Scaravolt and Gario on it for a long time, and with Volfi being meta, even though I have melees to counter it, it still sucks. Mashuk's really valuable this game. Go undersized Munch Gario. It's nice against each. But I need to find a way to break through this lead here, and I don't have a great one. Piraniant can beat these two, and Shim Zyzer can beat this one, so I think I just have to sack the Mashuk here. Crazy how much value Volfi can get even against physical melee and win teams, yeah. Yeah, dang it, it was receptive. I could have used P-Jab. Please don't be air specialist. Oh, it's Wardrum. Please don't be air specialist. Please. It is. I go botanist. It's not? What? Is that a low attack 2-vine then? Oh man. That's so lame. I really wanted the synergy there. Okay. Yeah, Saku. Both Saku and Brock. Both great on the melee core. No idea why they got so many stats. Krem is just like, yes, let's give them nacho stats. It'll make them better, right? Because they're bad temps? No, they were not. They're not bad. They're good. Saku's only bad because Tolkien's been meta for years. But it wins so many other matchups that it's worth it. those who don't know, using Rush into an evasion, or like Jinx Whisper or Hasty Lunge for that matter as well, will not OX you. So because of Adrenaline Shot, my Mogu is not OX next turn. If the move actually connects, then you would be OX'd. Interesting. I know my Chim's -1 speed, but I didn't think my Mogu would outspeed that. I need both hits to kill this Garender anyways. It's just very interesting. I'm just going to click Frond Whip on the off chance the Seismunch tries to click Heat Up. Did not want to risk it. It's a very low attack Seismunch. Oh yeah, synergy for some reason. Saku with support Piraniant, surprisingly good and fun. Beef up Saku, synergy revitalize and ultrasound. Interesting. Also, I was surprised the Seismunch isn't running Martial Strike. That seems to be the new fad, so it's interesting. Scary fish? Yes, spooky spooky. It should be GG. You can kill Zyzer there, but Piraniant always wins this late game. At least I'm able to give this team a bit of a good showing now. I didn't see we got promoted at some point, I think. I don't know. Guess I didn't pay attention to where we started. Don't care about promos much this early in the season. I'm not picking Vogon as much as I had hoped. Zyzer I'm finding use for, but it's just a bit too slow. Just feels like every Earth type that's not Volphy or Turok feels subpar. It feels sad. Still like Grumper, but you can't easily slot Grumper on a physical team like this. Kind of sparks support for a special team, but physical one is not really. Be goofy and run Grumble instead. Energy reserves, just double energy reserves. But I think Xyzer offers more value than that. Kind of nice to have a second Digi on the team too. If Iridescence was working, I'd consider putting Digiquash. I think Digiquash should be really nice on this team. If I had Digiquash, I'd probably just throw the E-Drink on that. Yeah, it looks like we're getting to the point where Qs are dying. Quash being broken is one of the great tragedies. Yeah, it is indeed sad. I really like New Iridescence. I think those, like, I don't like how uninteractive it is, but it's nice to be able to see the Quash is still usable, and a lot of them more usable. It almost feels like a whole bunch more Tems were actually added into the game. It's because those new types are available. I was thinking in like outside of Quash and Chromion, there's no water Digitype, which is really weird. I feel like it's such an interesting type. At the same time, electric weakness sucks. And yet with the Quash and Chromion changes, both Water Chromion and Water Quash are usable now. Or sorry, Digiquash. Because Digiquash cancels out its weaknesses, and Water Chromion has Water Blade for solid prio. I haven't experimented too much with the other Chromion types. I think PI is still interesting, but I think that one was a bit of a miss. They added some prio moves so you can side neutralize, but because most damage is done through toxic ticks right now and such, at least at some levels, then it doesn't really matter. I forgot what I was talking about. Oops. Pupboy's not consistent enough. No, we haven't gotten a Luma yet, no. This is like my third or fourth radar for it. Still have plenty of feathers to go, though. I could perfect a couple Lumas. I've got a Magma, some Fomu, and I think I've got Bun Bun left. I'll just buy a whole bunch of hotfixes in bulk sometime. I'll just wait though until the off chance that they add something like mass hotfix box opening. It's also nice to have some feathers on hand just in case I find a team I really like and I want a Luma for it. I can just go farm that Luma and perfect it instantly. Because like, on the Sparks team, I didn't have Tortonite, but Tortonite was a low percent, and I didn't want to have to buy ETCs for it. I just bought the thing, but Chromion. I got my Luma Chromion to just soul buy into Chromion and hack the thing up. And there we go. Those on interactables, neutrals, maybe they should buff their trait and nerf one of their defensive stats, lower special defense like Yowler. Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, they did give the Koishas new tools. Because the problem with neutrals is that neutrals just spam their high BP attacks unresisted. The Koishas, you can still resist their attacks outside of like Digicoish, and they have a lot of interesting utility moves. Like I was actually using Refreshing Breeze on Wincoish, which is cool. They've got, yeah, this team actually. I don't make a lot of teams anymore, but so it's still there. Oh, okay. So I've played 6 games today, and half of them are this. He has to ban Mogu. What? Okay, buddy. I'll take it. So I'm leading Mogu and Zyzer because Zyzer has E-Drink. Why did he ban Chimerian? What's he scared of? Guys, am I dying? He wants to do like blue screen strats instead? Mogu still can't get hit by that. I can just ban the Cycrocs and then I don't have to worry about Doom nearly as much. Don't have to worry about Moments as much because it requires synergy and it's also got lower physical defense. Cycrocs has really even defenses. At least once it's TV'd for it. He did. Like I said, I don't care, I'm just picking these two. I'm gonna swap Mogu out. It's gonna be really useful for dealing with like all the Doom shenanigans later on. Because Mogu can't be doomed. With Splitter. Can be with Seppuku, so I gotta watch out for that. Long ago you had to think about what you attacked at the time. No, you don't care if it's special or physical. For the most part, yeah. Even something like a Doro, you'd be like, oh, I don't want to use a special attack, I have to use a physical attack. No, it's not. That's not how it works anymore. People invest so much defense in their Adoros that it's basically the same as hitting a Spidef. Only times you really look at, like, you gotta hit it with a certain attack or something like Tuvine. Tuvine's still got insane physical defense, and people don't usually invest much special. Cowron could be annoying if he bans Piraniant and or Mashuk. Well, you're not and or just or Mashuk. Yeah, there goes Piraniant, so. Good thing I banned the Cowron. Didn't ban my bait user either, so I still have options. Gonna bring Volgan. Volgan has Cage, so it can actually self-push off Doom with Stare Cage, which is nice. In case I need something to eat the Doom. I'm gonna go Mashuk just for options against the Volphy Volgan. Or Volphy Gallios. I am glad to see Gallios seeing some play now. I know I never really made a team for it, and some people are disappointed by that. But that's how it went. We're gonna swap in Volgan now. Kill the Gazuma. I love Gazuma, but it needs to die. We'll see if it does half. Gazuma's another one of those Tems where you used to be like, oh, I don't want to hit this thing with a special attack. Well, it's got enough stats now, or even a physical attack. This will probably not even do half. Officially make Gallios less of a sitting duck. Yeah, second it doesn't do half. I was joking. I was joking. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I was like, thank you, Stoneball Synergy. But nope, that doesn't even help. Yeah. Start staring down that moments. I lied. We're gonna beef up the Zyzer. Another hit would kill the Gazuma, so I didn't need to beef up. But I'm going to because I want to use Piercing Wheel for the Invigorize. Because that's what my stamina's calced for. Which, now that I'm looking at it, I think I calced wrong. Yikes. Forgot Moments was an Earth type. Or a Nature type. Oopsie. Definitely didn't want to beef up there then. Yeah, Moments won't be running out of stamina anytime soon. Thing's probably got 101 stamina and Sweatband. He's also got Digithread off hold. God dang it. Stair Stone Ball would have been the play. Because then I could still have Piercing Wheel up. Yeah, if you brought in Volphy, it didn't matter anyways, just Sludge Gifts. I want Zyzer to die, so I'm still just gonna Stone Ball, even if he ignored me. Did you throw it just for the higher BP, I guess? This way I don't have to make sure I live the Sludge Gift, and I can push off the regen from the Moments, which is nice. But honestly, this situation still sucks. I didn't respect the carry Moments. Could just ban the thing. I thought it was going to be a Doombot. Didn't think it would have special attack invest. Tried to swap Volphy. That's interesting. Oh, he tried to double swap. Nice. That's so good. Diabolo. I was gonna complain, but apparently it procced and I'm still 1 stamina from wastewater. So that's kind of nice. Saves me a lot of OX. As much as I'd like to... Darn, I did die. I was gonna say, as much as I wanted to get a turbo off, I didn't know if I would be able to. Rebit. Alright, gonna turbo and CPG. Does this kill the moments? Heck if I know. But I need the speed. Okay. Gallios is a pain in the butt. Yeah, it's a zero attack Gallios. Not really sure what he wants to do here, though. Oh no, I was faster than the ruin. Oh, okay, that sucks. I didn't even think about that. Use it on yourself or something. Nice. This way I still kill the waddle. Oh, that one did Protostar. Who said it was bugged? That was a lie. I remember hearing it was bugged. Not even the bugs work properly. Even the bug is bugged. Yep. Back to playing some games without bugs. Enjoy laddering. Thanks for stopping by. Have a nice day. Enjoy your bugless games. I don't know if this kills moments or not. I hope it does. Oh, it definitely does. Was I +6? I'm only +4. It was a little surprising then. Ah, he does have another attack move. No! No! I needed him really not to have that. Okay, guess I gotta swap Heli Kick for Uppercut. Trying to think. I'm getting a Transient and a DV here. I have to waste water and it has to kill Wolfie. Which it never does. Yeah. Yeah, this is just one of those teams again with like 0 offensive invest. Just can't win them all. GG's. Pretty well played. That moment's really ruined me at the start. Probably should have just sacked the Molgu. He didn't even play around his Gallios much. Didn't put me to sleep once. I just don't think this team's going to be consistent enough for me to continue playing much. It's interesting for some variety today. It's kind of the same problem. It's actually a different problem than I ran into before. Because before it used to be an issue of people had as much offensive invest as they could fit, while still surviving everything you threw at them. So they would still win trades no matter what. But now it's that everything outspeeds me and is bulkier than me, which is so dumb. I feel like just mid-range teams trying to find a middle ground when team building is just too difficult right now. So this will be my last game today. Alright, well, maybe this ain't too bad. Maybe we'll finally get to have some defense drops. I think I've hardly gotten any value out of them at all today. Ban the Nidrasil. Probably pick the Piraniant. And then either Chim or Tuvine. Go ham. Bring it. Bring it. I don't care. Let's go. Let's just smack them. I hope there's no embers on this thing. There's embers on that thing. Yeah, that's going to block out energy. Oh, is it a frightening one? He'll cancel out his half full if he does that. He can bring it back in later, I guess. He actually doesn't have a lot of ways to buff. Like a potential shelter. Puffin on Yowler. I think I have to ban the Yowler because if Sambi goes down, I have no chance. Yeah, Mashuk was my good swap in turn 1. Does that make sense? Wogan's still good to bring in though. And Sambi as well. Because everything here has offensive scaling. Since Mashuk got banned, I'm probably gonna go 2-Vine instead of Molgu, purely for the facts I don't have Faraday Cage synergy. Yeah. No hostile. Big, sad. You bowl on the Tyrannac? Okay. Alright. They slap the Scaravolt, bring in the Volgon to take a hit. It sucks that I can't get energy reserves. Probably gonna have to little down this Tyrannac as well. It hits most of my team. Perfect, just over 10%. That means if it swaps back in, it will not get half full. No energy reserves proc, which is very sad. He doesn't have anything that really wants to take Stare Cold Geyser. He's got the Volrend, but then his Volrend's on board against my Volgon, so should be able to manage. Just stay in, just challenges me. Just fair. I don't have enough offense in this Piraniant to kill it. This will do like 70. Okay, that's quite a bit more than I was thinking. Rip Piraniant. He did pretty good though. Scaravolt's down a lot. Volga doesn't attack, so it being burned doesn't matter too much. Finish off the Scaravolt. Stare the Tyrannac. If Tyrannac meteorites, Volgon will die. If it outgrows, it'll be close. Outgrowth will be a lot better because Diabolus should also proc this turn. Right, next turn, so. Okay, he doesn't use either. Just goes for the Volphy. See if he brings Tyrannac back in. That would be his best play. He brings in Moments, okay. Kaleidoscope Volphy. Self beef up, swap to Chimerian. I'm not going to click Matter Teleport again if I don't have to. Transient's way more SAM efficient. Especially since I could be getting hit with plagues whenever. I don't know how much a Digimove from this Moments is going to do. I'm hoping it's not a lot. Zambi is pretty bulky, and I'm assuming it's a low to no invest Moments. Yeah, there comes Tyrannac. Yeah, that does nothing. Perfect. If he Plasma Beams his Tyrannac, the game's over. She very well could. It's not like that surprising of a play. Okay, he B-floods. I know I said I wasn't going to Matter Teleport, but I actually have to kill this Moments this turn or else game's over too. Because he can just Meteor Swarm, kill Shim and Zambi. That's not nearly enough. Oh, that's so rough. This is why people don't bother buffing their attack. Unless it's like free buffs through Tireless. Live, Jim, live. Yeah. Diabolo refurbished. I needed to kill Moments that turn. No chance. GG. You'd think a team that's designed to beat your opponent with defense drops and buffs would have more success against a really slow-paced team that can't deal any damage, but modern stall teams actually have quite a bit of offensive invests, which makes it a lot rougher. Because it's like, I could outpace stuff like Stonewall with P-Jab and H-Slap. But while I'm setting up, they're just doing damage with type advantage, and I can't keep up. And even if I swap to get positive type advantage, they just swap and eventually they'll whittle me down because they have superior stamina. I don't know. I'm pretty burned out today. Temtem's been a bit rough lately. Still fun, but burning out a little bit. I wish there was some more creative stuff I could do. I've done a lot of stuff like in theme teams in the last couple patches. Or it's not like I can think of it a whole lot new to do. A lot of the stuff left is just super gimmicky and wouldn't have any success. Most of the time when I'm trying a theme team, I like to see what components of it have success and what parts don't. But knowing something won't have success beforehand is a bit sad. Kind of ruins any desire I have to play it. Return of the Broccoli. Yeah, I mean, Broccolum and Grumper's still fun. There's actually a draft league going on. It's just starting up. I've drafted both Broccolum and Grumper, so it's on the same league server that we just had the big tournament finish up. I know East streamed it, so the VOD's up if anyone wants to check that out on his channel. Is it streamed? Nobody really knows yet. I'll probably try and at least record my matches, if not stream them. We're all split up into like 5 different groups. And it's just whoever can play a few matches on their day. It's just like a best of 3. So it'll be a lot shorter than the other ones. I'd just make for good YouTube content if I decide to record it. And I mean, something like that is a great way to get creative juices going, because you're limited in how many of the meta Tems you can use. So you could try and pick up Tems on your main team and stuff, but it seems like most people are trying to throw some goofy stuff in there. This in my group, I've already seen a Raze and Hoglet picked up, so could definitely be interesting. Some other groups pick stuff like Mental and Earth Chromions, Towley after Hypnotist rework. I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be all for me today. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.